it's Jennifer Clark from Jen'sZEN TV. Shout out to all my transformers out there. Welcome back to Jen'sZEN. We're moving it into an online platform. Hope you enjoy it. We're offering you very short but sweet segments on how to improve your life, how to remain balanced, how to be more mindful, and get more zen in the world around you. Again, this is all about soulful solutions for everyday living. The topic I thought about today was waking up in the dream. So many people are waking up and sort of realizing what is happening in the world. Why am I here? Who am I? Who am I with? Who am I sleeping with? Why am I in this job? All these wonderful questions that happen to us when we sort of have the great unraveling, the great remembering, as it's called. For me, I noticed it was actually when Oprah Winfrey, believe it or not, had her 1995 book club with, forgot the author's name, it'll come to me in a second, The New Earth, Eckhart Tolle. Thank you. Eckhart Tolle's New Earth, she had her book club. 10 million people around the world, if you can believe that, had an experience with his book. It was pretty deep shit. I couldn't believe that Oprah had this sort of very esoteric book on her show. It was wonderful. It took me so long to get through it. I highly recommend the book if you're interested in reading it, but a little warning, I even had a hard time with it and I was on the path already. Having said that, wonderful turning point in media, in the world. You saw shows coming up on television and radio. You see people talking about it. I just came back from the Archangel Summit in Toronto. Giovanni Marcisco, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, has this amazing event in Toronto, Archangel Summit. It's going to be now in September 2018, archangelsummit.com at the Sony Center. 2,000 people in a room. And from my ears, from my eyes, all saying the same thing about spirituality, about conscious living, about business, about mindfulness. It was fantastic. We had Damon John from Shark Tank. We had Danielle Laporte from Canada, a spiritual teacher. We had Lewis Howes, who is this NFL superstar. All these people saying the same thing. So back to you, waking up in the dream. If you're feeling a little off, if you're feeling a little like, I'm not really vibing with my tribe anymore, the people I hang with, the things I'm doing no longer resonate. For some of my clients, it's like, I can't drink coffee anymore. For a lot of people, it's activities. So let's say they're hanging with their friends on a Saturday night and all of a sudden they look around, they just don't feel it anymore. And they're wondering, why are they there? Why are they hanging? Why are they wasting their time? For me, that actually happened around 1996. I was hanging out with my crew, rave culture, rave community, still like to dance though. But I was sitting there wondering, why am I here? This is the same people doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I just had to step out. I had to step out of my tribe at that time. Be alone. I actually was alone for an entire summer, which really sucked back then. I felt like the lonely cat lady. I hung out with family. Luckily, there was a few tight friends that I could sort of be with and really talk about sort of more in-depth things, more consciousness, more about future, purpose, passion, destiny, all these kind of terms that at that time people weren't really into. So I felt very alone, but it was someone at work. And my friend Andrea, if she's watching, shout out Andrea, she brought a new book to the lunchroom one day, and I kind of peered over my book, and I noticed that she was reading the similar style of writing, and I said, hey, I know that author. Have you read so-and-so? All of a sudden, Andrea and I started sitting together at lunch every day, meeting in the lunchroom, having these tete-a-tetes, coffee clatches as they're called, and really opening up our minds to a new possibility, a new way of living. All of a sudden, it started to multiply. Our bosses sat down and started talking to us. We called it deep shit, shooting the shit moments at work. And I know people who are in corporate Canada or are in corporate America or wherever you are, you can do this too. You can do this in a playground, watching your kid on the jungle gym. You can do this at a party. You can do this anywhere. The good news is for those of you who are interested in more deep thinking and deep thought, it starts with you. It starts with you listening for some of the clues and cues around you from people, whether it's like, oh, I like your crystal, your necklace, to someone referencing an author you like, to an event, you know, you think is transformational in some way, because it's in every sector. It's really cool to be weird now. Weird is wonderful. Weird is the new currency. So embrace your weird and don't be afraid to make the changes happen, because pioneers like myself, like Oprah, like others who've gone before in the 70s, sort of pushing the veil beyond. Anyone in California has been doing it for a long, long time, but now it's hitting corporate. Now it's hitting government. Now it's hitting the mainstream, which is wonderful. So When you're feeling isolated, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling alone, what can you do? So a couple of things that got me through it is first books. The cheapest, easiest way, whether it's webinars, live audiobooks, driving the car, for people on subways or buses. It's a great way of getting information downloaded to you. Podcasts, of course. Mind Valley Academy is one of the best sort of online portals I know of. There's tons and tons of options out there. Just Google webinar and then, hit the topic that you want. There's options that are free and available to you. So start the process by hitting up the brain cells and having sort of a perception shift, allowing your brain to catch up with how you're feeling. Educate yourself, take a workshop, attend a live lecture. In Ottawa, where I'm from, at any one night at every given date, there are like 10 different people doing group healing circles, lectures, information sessions. So check out in your community, where you're living, wherever you are, and find the tribe you need. Go to a meetup. Just take one moment, take one step into the direction you want to flow. From my perspective, it's actually the best time to go alone, because your friend, your partner, your buddy may not be interested in hanging out with you at the time. So I find that this journey is alone, but I don't feel it's lonely. I don't feel to me, alone is all one. So I encourage you to step out if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling concerned that you don't have anyone to go with. I heard that a lot from my clients. But to me, being alone in this self-discovery is probably the easiest, fastest way to learn and to receive new experiences, meet new friends. It's easier to meet a new person one-on-one when they're standing by themselves. If you were with a whole bunch of people I didn't know, I would be very reluctant to come up to you and say hi. So doing things alone is wonderful. Reading, going to live lectures and events. Then meditate, ground yourself. Breathe like a tree. 1 moment mindfulness is simply just sitting or standing wherever you are, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and really slowing your breath down, feeling your body and connecting. Apps out there actually can tell you to drink water, can tell you to bing and say, hey, it's your moment of mindfulness, take a breath. So please set your technology up to support you in being more mindful, whether you're eating, communicating on email, relationships, listening to people. Sit and listen and try not to multitask as much. From a spiritual perspective, it's all about believing that there's another or other out there, that there is more than you, the physical body. Teilhard de Chardin said, we're human experiences we're spiritual beings having a human experience. I call myself a human angel. That's what, when I interviewed Toltec author Miguel Ruiz, in his books For Agreements, that's what he said people were. The humanity were really physical angels on earth, which I love that concept. Again, so regardless of your belief system, philosophy, you can have more spirituality, more connection when you're aligned, when you're grounded, when you're eating right, when you are putting it out there in some intention, or casting the net wide in your community, looking for tribe, people that you can get connected to, you can learn from, and again, not being afraid of doing things alone, because again, self-discovery tends to be of the self. Having said that, hey Juanita, thanks for tuning in, girl. This episode is all about the tools. So we can have webinars, we can have breathing exercises. Again, you do this sitting on the toilet. Sometimes it's the best time to do your thing when you're alone in the toilet and just take a breath. I remember my work office washroom was one of the best places for me to sort of check out, get back to who I really was, and disconnect from my work. In the sense that I don't believe you are your work. I believe you're paid for something, but your humanity and all your divinity and all your glory and all your deliciousness has nothing to do sometimes with the work you're getting paid to do. So step back sometimes from the chaos of the workspace, the craziness of the tribe at work, the culture, the workplace bully, the neurotic boss, whatever you've got, it's got nothing to do with you. And if you really take that approach and just check in, do your job, be present, be mindful, be non-judgmental, and do your thing, you'll actually see that they have less effect on you in a day. But the trick is to be passionate and purposeful in your life outside of work. So you don't want to be soul-sucked so much that waking up in the dream means that you can't actually live the dream, that you can't actually do what you love to do. So the question I posed to you today is, what would you do for free for fun? And whatever that is, I want you to start with thinking about, how can I make money at this? How can I help people? How can I move this into a place of positivity, helping others, helping myself, whether it's a for fee experience or you just do it for fun in a service capacity as a volunteer. Hey, shout out, Caro, how are you, girl? These two women who are tuning in today are on their path. Again, it takes introspection, it takes attention and intention. And everyone's got that opportunity to do it, because there's no excuses with today's resources out there. Again, if you're in Ottawa, I do my monthly group experiences at the Best Western, second last Thursday of the month. Check out my website, jenniferclark.ca. But wherever you're living, wherever you're thriving in, please check out your community. Yoga centers are great opportunities. Alternative healing centers are good places to look. Facebook, YouTube, of course, those free resources exist pretty much everywhere. So wherever you are, you can find somebody online or in person to connect with and to have dialogue with. And if you can't, then get a book, sit under a tree, meditate, and set that intention to be connected to the all. You'll see it happen quicker than you can ever imagine. Again, waking up the dream is really fast when you want to take the red pill, as Neo does. So we're going to do an angel card reading. It's actually not an angel card, I should say. It's a personal development card. This is the card deck I love to use now in my healing circles. It is the Power of Surrender cards by Dr. Judith Orloff. Yes, MD. Dr. Judith Orloff created these wonderful personal development cards, and I use them now in my meditation circles because they're neutral and they have wonderful pictures. So the card today, I love it, is called Surrender to Miracles. I don't know if you can see that. It's all about a purple, two dolphins swimming in the ocean under a blue moon, excuse me, a blue moon, under a full moon. And it says, be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubts that miracle can happen. Well, you know, regardless of miracles or not, you got to believe that something can change. You got to believe that you can change. You got to believe that when you do something inside, the outside will also be affected. And that actually is the law of one. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Tune in again next time. At some point, we're going to meet and greet you with some more Jen'sZEN for everyday living. If you have any questions, please send me an email, jenniferjaneclark@gmail.com, or hit me up at jenniferclark.ca, and we'll answer your questions on live. This is sort of this platform. We're offering you some sweet nuggets to get you through the day. All right. Again, when it's dark outside, make sure your light inside stays on. Stay tuned for more.